first, we went out to this, like, supposed to be this, like, huge party, like, second year anniversary.
First we watched from, like, Washington Park, like, all the way to, like, Mott Street, like, in, like, Soho. We went back to, like, my boyfriend's apartment, whatever. Anyway, like, we went back there, and so then, and it's, like, freezing cold, and then we walk all the way, like, to some train station. We get on the train drops us off, like, 12 billion blocks, like,
oh my God.
Like,
because the nearest train that we were near was, like, the closest one to, like, you know, because how Chelsea goes into, like, Avenue, like, 18, like, the closest one that we could get to was the 109, so we were on, like, we're at, like, 7th Avenue.
And then on the way over, we, like, tried to use the bathroom. We tried to use the bathroom in this movie theater because we both really had to pee, and we're like, we don't want to go to this party, like, really having to pee and, like, wait on the line, like, maybe, like, whatever. So we go in, and we're, like, trying to use the bathroom, and they're all like, no, you can't sneak in. We're like,
yeah, they thought we were sneaking into the movie theater. It was so funny. We're like, no, we're trying to use the bathroom.
And they're like, well, get it out. Like, how do we know you're gonna come back? And they're like, do you have any ID? And, like, I don't have any form of identification whatsoever. And she's like, I have school ID. And they're looking at it, like, trying to, like, check out, and I was like, her, and so, and I'm like, and they're all, like, we're going in, and we're both going in, and they're like, stop me. They're like, no, you don't have an ID. I'm like, I need to pee.
And then, like, they totally were like, wait a minute, no, one of you can go in, like, at a time. I'm like, what am I gonna leave my student ID with you? Like, we came out of the bathroom, okay? The guy was staring at us.
Yeah, he was, like, checking it out.
Leyora Zuberman. Like, and I'm like, checking my card out, and I was like, who are you? You're like a vending person at, like, a movie theater. It's like, you have no right to, like, look at my name or, like, I don't know.
FBI.
And then it was like, and then we, like, walked, like, all this, like, totally, like, cold, like, all the way down to Pier 63, and it's supposed to be, like, this big party.
But it's supposed to be, like, second year, like, annual, like, big, huge thing going on, and we were like, yeah, we're gonna go to this party, and, like, the reason, one of the, like, major motivations for me just to, like, be out and going was because I was looking for this kid, and this is, like, the kid I was looking for, like, the entire night.
Right, looking for him.
But, like, okay, the night before, we had, like, spent time together, and we were just, like, we had met, and we chilled, like, all night. It was just, like, we had made plans for the next day, and it, like, worked out really weird, because he told me about this party, and we were gonna go together. And I gave him my phone number, but I never went home. And I never was like, didn't click to call my house to see if he called. So I was just like, whatever, I'll just go to this party because I know he'll be there. So we get to the party.
And there's like, it's like 10:30. Like, by the time that 10:30 like hits, you're supposed to have like a decent line going.
Right.
The party was supposed to start at like 10. So it's like, there's like 5 kids there, and they're all in promoter kids.
And they were like, they were under 21, like, promoter kids. Like, I mean, whatever, like, that's the way the scene is.
Yeah, like under 21, like, yeah, it's like they're under 18. Like,
they wouldn't even let the promoters in the party. They wouldn't let them in because they weren't 21.
The flyers said like 21 to drink, but they were like, no, there were 3 different versions of the flyer.
Yeah, they were like,
and that one was wrong. And like, you have to be 21 to get in. We're like, so there's like 5 kids there. It's like freezing ass cold there. Like,
how should we like just lounge up?
Be on a boat. Like, it was supposed to be on a boat, like whatever, like freezing cold on water, like how much that's like whatever. Anyways,
I mean, by the time we got there, like already, like not only were our like we were like freezing cold, but like we were like I hadn't slept since like nights before because I was out with like that kid all night, and then I hadn't been home for like 2 nights or whatever, and I was like, you know, just kind of like tired, you know. I just wanted to go to this party all day.
I've been out like working since like 9:30 in the day, and so I was all like, So I was sitting on this little couch, like all curled up, like, okay, do we stay? Do we go in the family? We decided to go over to like this other party, Unity, that's a final one that we were coming back from last night. Like every Friday. So we're like, okay, let's go to Unity. And Unity is like all the way like past the Holland Tunnel. Like
I don't know what
possesses.
She's like, well, we'll just walk like towards, like, I didn't even like understand what we were doing, but I was just so like tired and like not even understanding.
I'm like, I didn't call this girl, like the same girl that we didn't have
the same girl that I didn't want to talk to before, because she was like promoting that party and could get
she had like a guest list, so we could get like a group. So we're like trying to call her, and we're going to all these friends. This one friend, like, you know how they have like a number, and we're like looking to see if they have numbers, so they call back. And like this one thing, like it just said like this phone does not call back. It's so funny. But
the numbers was space is like this phone makes no incoming calls. We're like, oh, okay.
So we're like, whatever. So we keep on walking. It's like freezing. It's cold. Like it's like hypothermic. Like your knees, like, you know, your knees get like block, and you're like walking along. We're like, we're gonna finally to battle. There's like funny. This is like the trip to Vinyl with like
we were like trying to get there in like a half hour. It took us like 3 hours to get there. And like I had like made these pants. These are actually the pants I was wearing. I had made these pants like a few nights before, and like the insides of them were kind of like a little extra long, and so they were rubbing, and I was like all raw like here, and my bag was hitting my ass, and I was just like, oh my god, I can't move anymore, and like we were in such bad shape. We were just like, and we finally went to bar, and there's like so many people. There's like this huge ass line. They're all from Jersey. Like they're all. I mean, like nothing against Jersey because I grew up there. Well, I mean, against Jersey because I grew up there, but nothing against Jersey in general. Not to generalize like all Jersey people, even though they deserve to be generalized. But like, it was such a horrible vibe of like Jersey kids that it was like. Because they're all like wild and like all like, yeah, I know. They were standing there and like we wanted to get on the list. The lists were already like way close. Like 1:30. And like we're like whatever. So we see this kid, online, and we're like, and he's like towards the beginning of the line, and the line was like around the block, and we were like, whatever. No, this is not the kid she was looking for. So we like skipped a line. We're standing there. We're like, hi, whatever, and then we were like standing there, and we're like, we can't deal with it. Yeah, we started looking at each other and we're just like, why are we here? We're going home. Because the thing is, like, we had $20 to get into this party, and we couldn't even stay. Like, that's the thing. We both had, like, classes at 10 o'clock in the morning, like, the next morning, and we were like, we can only stay, like, an hour or so. And we, like, we would have to pay, like, full price for, like, 2 hours. Like, that's bullshit. Yeah. And so we're like, okay, well, we just sort of, like, skipped out a line, and we were like, okay. And we just started. We took a cab, like we couldn't walk. We took a cab. We were like, no. So we took a cab to like this pizza place, like off like Washington Square Park. We're like sitting there, and we eat pizza, get on like full and like roly poly, tired. And like we went to this kid who's like been waiting for like 6 hours for like this hookup, and he's all like being crazy. He's like, oh my god, and he was just, and we're just like looking at him like, I can't believe you're actually like moving. How do you do that? And I was like, back to me, and she's like, I'm like, okay, let's just walk home, like whatever. It's not that long. It's like a 15-minute walk. And she's like, I can't walk. I can't do it. I'm sleeping here. She's like, you don't mind, do you? She's like, putting her head down. She's like, I can't do it again. Like my mentality was like, yeah, get up, go. And I was just like, I'm going, and I'm standing here, I'm not moving, but I'm going. Like it was like I was just walking out the door, and I was like, oh my god, we have to do this, don't we? And it's freezing outside. So finally, I was like, why don't we just take a train? Like it's like one train stop, and like you have to like it's one of those things where you have to like walk a while to get to the train. And then wait for the train for like so many minutes, like 15, like 30 minutes. So like just because if we're standing there like we're on the train for like 5 seconds, we get off, we have to walk more to get home. It's like ridiculous. So, and then we find out this kid, we did the whole irony of the whole night was that we were looking, like the reason we went to the first party was to look for this kid. And then we thought we might go to the second one. We like tracked our asses to the second party just to find this kid. And he wasn't like around. And I was like, so like, I find out that like a few days later that the kid that we ran into in line was like kicked out. Like he got in, like he went to the party, but he was kicked out. And like as he was being kicked out, he ran into the kid we were looking for, and wound up like randomly hanging out all night with him. Like whatever, like it didn't faze him because like he wasn't looking for him. We were, and it was just like whatever. It was in the line. I know. It was just like we named it like Our Night from Hell. Yeah, we were like, this was our night from hell. Like we got back to the apartment, we were just like sitting there like. I know, and last night when we went to that party, it was like the same party that like whatever that we were. The second party went to the other night, and like we were online, and we sort of had the same like disgusting feeling, like we wanted to go home. We were like, principal, I have to go in. I don't care if I'm spending $20 getting in this club and just like going in. And we wound up leaving like they didn't even say it was like they made you check your codes. Like you couldn't like not, but it cost money. It cost like $2 per item. So we're like. So we paid like $15 to get in because we got on a list. And then like we get in and they're like, you have to check your codes. We're like, okay, so we checked our codes. It was so fun. Like it was so crazy. It was so great. It was fun. And like also like we were like complaining and like moaning like while we were standing online the other night, like debating whether or not we're gonna pay like $20 to get into this club for like 2 hours. And we ended up like taking a cab and like eating food and like smoking cigarettes. And we would have spent a year anyway. And like,
we would have like just going into the party.
and if we would have went, we would have been like chilling with like all these people that we knew. But when they wanted to do it, and they were just like, no, we can't spend the money and whatever. Let's make it.
Okay, we would hop into a cab for $2.50 just to like sit in it for 5 seconds.
No.
Like, go to a pizza place, like not even go home. Take a cab to a random ass pizza place, like in the middle of the night.
Just to eat. So we go all like to go just to go home.
Really fun with your ass.
We were just in there like, oh my
I
gosh.
spent $50, haven't gone anywhere yet.
I know, such a night from hell. All we did was like truck our ass to like all these different parties, spend all our money, and like go home.
Nothing. Like,
And like,
go home.
the thing is, we both had to get up in the morning, but there's like a difference between like when you sleep, like because we both got like about 5 hours of sleep and we had to get up in the morning, you know. But if you get like 2 hours, you're like good to go.
Yeah.
You know,
Like, every cycle is
even
like
though it's empty, you're like good to go anyway.
So like if you sleep for 90 minutes, like you'll wake up like all refreshed. But if you sleep for like let's
You
say
get
like
into
2
it.
hours and 20 minutes, you'll wake up like more tired than you would have been.
Seriously, like so 5 hours is like, you know, like the line. You either have to sleep more or have to sleep less, and we didn't. And like we went to class all cracked out.
And like it wasn't even worth it because it's like we went to class all cracked out because we stayed up all night long walking around in circles like miles and miles and miles.
It wasn't even like around a certain neighborhood. And like from like Chelsea to like Mott to like Unity to
Oh my god, everywhere.
it was a crazy night.
Yeah.
I can't like.
It was so much funnier last night.
No, it was good. It's good. It's actually equally good. Yeah. I think you guys were like accelerated about 25% in
Well,
speech like last night.